Alrighty then. Every now and again, my brother and I play games together. I call it BRO-OP. This is a really good thing. So now it's going to be a series. Awesome. So Helldivers is up to a 4-player local and internet twin-stick shooter based on the fun and cheesy version of Starship Troopers, made by Arrowhead Studios and released by Sony. Has the charm of an indie game with solid mechanics and great minute-by-minute and hour-by-hour gameplay. You and your friends drop into maps and fight across multiple enemy types and strengths, complete mini-game-style objectives within a map, and then have to reach an extraction point to be back to the planet's surface with all objectives complete. Objectives can be failed, but missions still completed, but it affects your score and bonuses. When you complete all the missions on a planet, the planet is conquered and the sector moves towards more human control. Ultimately, with all sectors going over to overall human control and fighting a final invasion battle, then controlling the whole system. This is all done as part of a persistent online universe where your battles contribute to an overall map of a galaxy. It does have a few annoyances. The story is near non-existent for story-based players. The community aspect as above is at once fun and annoying, i.e. when you start, you can often be joining games that are basically finished early on, meaning you get the you won achievement and end credits is pretty easy, and it's often where you start. You then join an empty system server, and those are more fun to do. Basic mechanics are that you earn research points by completing objectives in missions, even failing missions earn you XP, and use these to unlock and then upgrade various weapons and stratagems for your Helldiver. Stratagems are basically cooldown powers that you drop onto the planet from space. Cool process, feels like Dawn of War, Space Marines, Props, or Titanfall. Stratagems range from ammo resupplies to automated turrets, tanks, mechs, drones, and all one-use orbital strikes, or simply resurrecting your buddies, which will happen often. You fight 3 major enemy races, all based around different power sets, and each with different unit types that are revealed depending on the difficulty of the missions you play. So you'll face basic swarm enemies on bug homeworlds and armoured robotic infantry with technology of their own on cyber worlds. This keeps the game varied and requires you to change stratagems, as there is no longer one winning formula. As a pro, this keeps things well balanced. As a con, some of the weapons and stratagems are just variants of one another and don't really add much. Some feel like they're just sort of there because they give the game more unlocks. Graphically, the game looks good. A combination of a corporate clean and sort of comic style means it's always nice touch, not too stylised or a mega graphics blockbuster like any AAA release. Weather effects and terrain vary despite my review footage all being in the desert. That's because I'm rubbish. There's also jungle, winter, and various other Helldiver locations. Your Helldigers don't vary too much in themselves, which is a shame. They carry different weapons, a pile of cool vehicles, but aside from heavy armour, they often really never change the way they look dramatically, even with you changing the outfits. This is because the resolution and camera angle means differences are hard to see from the top-down perspective. Enemies vary and look good. Animations are smooth and well-timed. Reloading and moving, etc. all feels very solid. Audio-wise, the game has some great quotables, which are fun variants of peace, freedom, justice, liberty, whilst killing everything. The sound is meaty and thuds and crashes, bombs and screams are great. The dialogue has callbacks to Aliens, Warhammer 40k and Starship Troopers. Subtle audio cues also include such things as a gun firing out metal plates and tracers when close to empty, and these are welcome as you start recognising them later on. The game audio is probably weakest in its lack of decent VO for NPCs on the bridge of your ship, and the music is a little repetitive and doesn't always fit the mood. For example, you'll often find yourself having constant triumphant battle music blaring even when you're just wandering around. The bombast works for about half an hour or so, then I found myself turning the music down or off. The game is great for drop in and drop out BRO-OP, where you play a few rounds and then log off. You get that constant just one more mission urge and want to unlock or use the next weapon, upgrade or stratagem. It's shallow, blastable fun and works exactly like that, not taking itself too seriously. You won't get lost in the world of Helldivers, as there really isn't one to get lost in. It's shallow and all largely borrowed from elsewhere, but you will get engrossed in the mechanics and pick up and play with it, which is great. Oh, and friendly fire is on throughout, so from the get-go you can find inadvertent but hilarious ways to accidentally kill your friends and relatives. It is often that, or at least early on, that ends a mission badly, but it forces you to fight a different way, and that's great. You end up sort of back-to-back with different responsibilities, cones of fire and joint tasks, which makes co-op a joy to play. Overall, a fun top-down co-op shooter, excellent production values, which doesn't take itself too seriously, some minor flaws and annoyances, but nothing that stops you coming back for more. If on sale or in a bundle and you often have friends, flatmates, family over, and you live the sort of hectic life we only have 15 minutes a day for games, this one is definitely a keeper. So please rate, comment, share, subscribe, donate, pray, give blood and atone for your sins. Yours sincerely, KTB. Thanks very much. See you again soon. Bye.